Oh, good morning, guys. I hope everyone's having a good day. I'm not having a bad one. What is it, Wednesday? Feels like Tuesday. Let's talk. I am Trooper Steve, your traffic safety expert here at WKMG News 6 Orlando. Man, we do everything, but today has been a heck of a day out on the roadways. If you joined for our live broadcast on the TV, then you saw that the Turnpike had a horrific crash early this morning. Still in the process of cleaning that up. Should be cleaned up fairly soon, but avoid that area in Osceola, around the Osceola Parkway area if you can. But it is 2025, almost 2026. There was a time where we talked about all these other modes of transportation that would happen, and for years we had just cars, cool, bicycles, whatever, and they revolutionized things. And then suddenly electricity came into the play with the motor, and you could almost put it on everything. So there was a huge rise in electrical transportation, especially right here in Central Florida. It's a thriving community. It has a very diverse community, whether you're up in Mount Dora in Lake County, or Leesburg in Lake County, or down in Kissimmee, or where I'm at right here in downtown Orlando, right? Downtown Orlando thrives with pedestrians, people walking their dogs, bicycle riders, all sorts of people hustling and bustling. But over the years, we've seen a mass increase in e-bikes, e-scooters, right? So what we're going to do today, I want to set the tone. We are going to educate, clear up a little bit of confusion, have a little bit of fun. You guys know I have a little edge to things, and do stuff like that. First, before we do anything, I want to drive around in the downtown Orlando area, see what we got going on, and just take it in before we educate and kind of enforce a little bit the word. Got a pedestrian right there. I literally have an e-bike off to my side, right? An e-scooter. So that would be an e-scooter, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But first, I want to go around the downtown area and take a little bit of a look and just see what it looks like right now. We're talking 10 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday. What does downtown look like? There's an e-bike at the corner. We have a gentleman walking his dog. We have an athletic person doing their thing. Praise you guys. But everywhere you drive around downtown Orlando, you will find some type of contracted micromobility transportation. We're going to talk more about the definition of micromobility in a little bit. But as you drive around here, we've got an e-transportation there, e-transportation on the right. They're all over the place. And it is a thriving downtown. Let's be real. Downtown Orlando doesn't sleep. It's by no means New York City or anything like that, or any big city. But downtown Orlando is a thriving community. So people are always working. They're always doing something. So you always got to get around. So as a driver, you really should always be paying attention. I'm trying to make my way towards Lake Eola before we dive in to some of the administrative stuff. So as we approach Lake Eola here, I'm over here by World of Beer. Let's come up to the stop sign and I'll start my spiel with you here briefly. So here at Central and Osceola, okay, right at Lake Eola, what is the first thing you see? You see a bunch of electric transportation just crowded up on the corner, meaning a lot of people use it in the downtown Orlando. Also, right here in the roadway, what do we see? We see markings for bicycle trails, so they would be allowed to drive around here. As we approach the intersection here, stop sign, you need to be paying attention because look, there are people everywhere. Right here at Lake and Central, more e-bikes. Look at all those e-bikes on the right shoulder, the left shoulder, all over the place. So this tells me we need to talk about this because we have seen a rise in people using them, but unfortunately we have seen a spike in crashes. Recently, Orange County's been talking about putting on a study to talk about the ways to curve some of the crashes, to educate drivers and riders on the do's and the don'ts of operating an e-bike. So what are we going to do? We're going to talk about the major difference between an e-bike and an e-scooter. They are completely different things, and you have to understand that there is a definition that defines. So when you look at this, there's a seat, right? There's rules, there's regulations. Some have seats, some don't. So that's what I want to talk about with you guys today. The difference between an e-bike and an e-scooter. So we're going to pull over here and right here by the band shell and have a little conversation and talk about it. You can see we're going to be out here, guys, later on Friday night. Lake Eola here at the band shell. We've got the tree up, and I'll be out here lighting that thing Friday night. So don't forget about that. Come on out, check it out, and we'll hang out and have a good time. I'm going to pull over here real quick. We're going to talk. Okay. We got Bike Patrol out here, parking enforcement. I'll stay in the car so they don't write me a ticket, and we'll get out of here real quick. I'm trying to change the camera real quick. All right. Oh, I like this one. Okay. So today, we're going to talk about the difference between e-bikes and e-scooters. We just showed you a cool graphic showing you the quick differences here. But what qualifies as an e-bike, and what are the different classes? So let's talk about classes first. Okay, you have 3 different classes in the state of Florida. Class 1, Class 2, Class 3. Okay, so a Class 1 gives you assistance on the bike, has an e-motor on that bicycle, but the power only kicks in when you pedal it. Okay, so there is no throttle on a Class 1 e-bike. All right, Class 2 has a throttle, but is only limited to 20 miles an hour. So it has pedal assist, so when you're pedaling, it kicks in, but if you want to come off of the pedals, you would still be able to operate it with a throttle. Okay, so Class 1, pedal assist, no throttle. Class 2, pedal assist with throttle, but the bike cannot exceed 20 miles an hour. And then we have a Class 3. So a Class 3 is all of those, but it hits 28 miles an hour. Okay, so it pedals, has the pedal assist, has the throttle, but the difference between a Class 2 and a Class 3, Class 2, 20 miles an hour, Class 3, 28 miles an hour. Same rights and privileges as a bicycle, okay? You have to obey the same laws. You don't need insurance. You don't need a driver's license. You are basically allowed to ride everywhere that a bicycle rides, and you're required to follow the exact same rules. So what does that mean? If you are 16 years of age and younger, you're required to have a helmet on your head when doing something like that. So something to keep in mind. Safety, safety first, especially for kids, guys. Kids need to make sure that they're understanding that there is extra power behind something like that. Fun little graphic I made for the e-bike kids out there. Just, you always need to be aware and completely knowledgeable that you are dealing with something that has a lot more power than what you're used to. All right, wear your helmet, obey the traffic laws, use your lights, and the biggest thing I can say, stay aware. So the biggest thing I learned on an e-bike was the instantaneous power. And when you're coming around a curve, you can sometimes underestimate that. So things to keep in mind. All right, e-scooters. What defines an e-scooter? So this was really weird because Florida law defines an e-scooter as a micro-mobility device. All right, vehicle without a seat or a saddle, and it can be up to 3 wheels. So what are we used to seeing? What we just saw driving around here. Platform, 2 wheels, you're standing and you're going. What are the rules? It's a little gray. generally is the same rules as a bicycle, but they could limit it. Meaning, if you are normally operating on an e-scooter, they say that you can ride in the same areas as a bicycle. However, many cities and municipalities do have some ordinances that say no, you can't do that. And if it says bicycle only and a bike lane out on the road, you should probably not be operating your e-scooter there. All right. Big thing to take away is the rights to pedestrians, right? So a pedestrian has the right of way on a sidewalk. How often do we see a bicycle actually yield to a pedestrian? Usually it's the pedestrian stepping into the grass or off the sidewalk to let the bicycle go. You would be required to yield to pedestrians. So you have to keep all this stuff in mind, especially on an e-bike. The speed and the stopping distance is drastically different than just being man-powered. I'm not that athletic. I can't operate a bicycle that great. I can get around town, but I can guarantee you I'm not getting up to speeds with these legs that I can't stop at. But if you're cruising at 20 miles an hour and you've got some weight on you, it's going to take you a little bit longer to stop. So you gotta keep that in mind. So big do's, quick do's, and don'ts. Always ride with traffic, not against it. That is a common misconception. A lot of people are like, I go against it so they can see me. No, you ride with the flow of traffic. Stay in bike lanes where they're available. So if you're allowed to be on the road, but a bike lane is there, that's where you need to be. Or bicycle, e-bike, that's where you need to be. Try not to ride double on these devices. If it's designed for two people, okay. If it's got the seat, if it's manufactured for two riders, sure. But when you start putting another person on an e-bike that's designed for one, you are going against everything that bike was safely designed to do. Don't weave between cars. I'm telling you guys, the speed at which you're moving on these bikes, I'm pro e-bike. I want to say that. I am so pro e-bike, but we just need to be smart about it because people are genuinely getting hurt. No earbuds or headphones. I know a lot of people are like, oh well, motorcyclists are allowed to do it, and I go, well, yes, they are, but they're also a motorcycle, and they're really focused on the cars around them. As an e-bike rider, you need to make sure that you are focused on everything, meaning pedestrians, bicycles, other e-bikes, other micromobility users, emergency signs, a horn, someone yelling towards you, hey, watch out for that car, things like that. You need to be overtly prepared for. So at the end of the day, what did we learn here? Rules of the road apply to electric mobility users. If you're going to choose to put the e-bike out on the street, you are choosing to obey the rules of the road. Kind of makes sense to me. No turn on red here, so we're going to wait. Quick recap here. All right. E-bike. What defines an e-bike in the state of Florida? I keep saying state of Florida. E-bike in general. What defines an e-bike? There are 3 different classes. Class 1 is pedal assist only, meaning the electric motor is only assisting you when, I don't know why I got on this road like this. Hold on 1 second, guys. Oh my gosh. 1 second. I'm going to get off this thing. I'm going to try to. We're going to pull into 7-Eleven over here. Okay. Real quick. What defines an e-bike? Real quick recap. An e-bike. There are 3 different classes, right? First one. Pedal assist only. So that means when you're riding that bike, the electric engine only assists you when you're pedaling. Class 2 There is the pedal assist, but that bike's also got a throttle on it, but it's not going to exceed more than 20 miles an hour. Class 3, all of what I just said, but it's not going to exceed up to 28 miles an hour. You have to make sure that where you're riding, certain classes are allowed. Publicly, all classes are allowed, but you just got to make sure that you're using extra safety tips that are in your head and you're practicing, because I'm telling you, the speed that you're using is crazy. An e-scooter, no seat, no saddle, and up to 3 wheels. So with both of these, no registration, no insurance, and you kind of need to make sure you're paying attention, because Florida law does not require the age of 17 and over to wear a helmet. 16 and below required by law, can receive a citation. So please make sure that you're wearing your stuff, you're paying attention. But we got to do more about this stuff. We need to put some laws on the books. We need to make sure that there's some types of rules and educational information, because what we're seeing is not malicious, but people are coming out here having a good time. They are so much fun. I love e-bikes, but they're fast, and if you're not prepared for what you're hopping up on, they could ultimately be a little dangerous. So please be safe. We'll see what happens here in Orange County over the next couple of months, if that study will happen. But if you're going to get on them, be kind, be patient, and you need to be aware for everyone else around you, so you could be the safe one. I'll see you guys later.